One Zambia, One Nation, and thanks for joining us on tonight's bulletin to present. My name is Juliet Mutale. The headlines: Zambia, Scotland strengthen bilateral ties. Government confident of trade boost as Zambia hosts Commerce Summit. South Chiefs call for completion of stalled palaces. Plus, over 3,000 vulnerable households benefit from food security pack program in Eastern Province. ZANIS news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema says the Zambian government is keen to work with the Scottish government, citing education, agriculture and technology as some of the areas of interest. The head of state said this when he made a presentation at Heriot-Watt University in Scotland. President Hichilema reiterated that Zambia is also eager to benefit from artificial intelligence, especially in the mining sector. Meanwhile, President Hichilema says Zambia is ready and open for business, indicating that the country is ready to work with individuals, small, medium and large enterprises for the mutual benefits of the Zambian people. He emphasized on the need to establish joint ventures between the business community in Scotland and Zambia, adding that joint ventures are cardinal in growing any economy and improving the well-being of the people. And Scottish Minister for Culture, Europe and International Development, Christian McKelvey, said Zambia is a rising strong defender of democracy. Ms. McKelvey said Scotland and Zambia should continue forging strong partnerships in the areas of health, education and gender equality.
Now, Mr. President, I just want to introduce you to our Chancellor of the University, Sir Jeff Farmer. How are you?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for visiting.
Thank you. Pleasure.
And Mr. President, this is the provost of the city.
We are keen to work with the Scottish government, the British government, overall in collaboration around areas of education, as has been said already. Vice Chancellor, Chancellor, around technology, around your competences, Scottish competences in renewable energy, in obviously renewable energy space, wind, solar, all of those. And we do understand the universities here are quite specialized in certain areas. So we want to pick those niche areas and work with yourselves so we can improve the Zambian skill base, the competencies that will allow us to achieve our economic and social development agenda. Agriculture is another. Obviously,
we're here today because education works. And it works for all of us. And thus, we are here to celebrate a One Watt University that promotes education. Mr. President, we applaud your leadership and clear sense of purpose in driving Zambia forward.
Our relationship with Zambia, our history and our future together, because there was great points made about our future, it remains of great importance, and I was really pleased to see those scholars who are working in renewable energy, because I know that's an area where I'm sure that we will be doing much more conversation and work with, and I'm sure that you will be.
Acting President Mutale Nalumango has called for increased investments from China in key strategic sectors of the economy in the country. Ms. Nalumango says government appreciates the continued support and partnerships between Zambia and China, but added that more investments is needed in these sectors, such as agriculture, mining, energy and health, among others. The acting president was speaking when a delegation of officials from the Communist Party of China paid a courtesy call at her office in Lusaka. Mrs. Nalumango has stated that government would like to grow the private sector and that partnerships of such nature with China are cardinal for the development of Zambia's private sector. And leader of the Chinese delegation, Wang Heming, has held the Zambian government from the many economic and social gains that have been scored since assuming office. Mr. Hemming, who is the Director General of Sub-Sahara Africa Affairs of the International Department of the Communist Party of China, says government pushed for microeconomic and policy reforms that have registered social and economic changes. The senior Communist Party officials said the reforms gives the Chinese government the comfort to continue working with Zambia. Mr. Hemming disclosed that his visit is the first step in implementing the consensus reached by President Hakainde Hichilema and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping last year in May.
With this and the call for investment, Zambia is open for investment in many fields. And I am happy to say that the Chinese people are here bringing investment, but we need more in farming. We need to develop farming blocks. We need you in mining. Our goal is that we should reach 3 million tons of copper export in the next 10 to 15 years. You are welcome to bring investment in our country. Allow me to mention that indeed we appreciate the support that we need at the moment in the debt restructuring process. Debt that we know that you are with us in this matter. We have a lot of things that we have to deal with because of the climate change. We need to unite to be able to face the challenges that are being brought out by the climate change. Particularly us, who are bearing the brunt of the development that has been seen. And yet, I think His Excellency, the Ambassador, knows, for example, what we have gone through this year. Because of that, we need to hold hands again.
In the past more than 1 year, since the new government has assumed your position, the new government of Zambia, the UPND government, has pushed forward a lot of reforms and also implements a series of new measures. And as a result, your economic and social development has registered rapid developments and also significant progresses. There's been improvements in employment and also economic transformation. There have also been some good macroeconomic policies in place, so we feel and we see for ourselves that Zambia is a country that is safe and stable and people are happy to live here.
共同推动两国关系朝着更高水平发展，更广的领域迈进，达成的重要共识。我呢是来落实两国最高领导人的共同共识的。
Last May, President Xi Jinping and President Hichilema had a phone call, and they have reached important consensus on jointly bringing our relations to a higher level and in broader areas. My visit here to Zambia is to implement those important consensus.
And in Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Muliata has directed Kafue district authorities to ensure illegal mining in Chalala area near G Greens is stopped. The minister made the directive during an on-the-check spot check on the illegal mining activities in the area carried out at night. Ms. Muleta said the security officers should be deployed at the site to stop the illegal mining activities. Details in this report.
Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Muliata has directed authorities in Kafue district to move in and stop the illegal mining taking place in the Lai area. Ms. Muliata made a directive in Kafue when she visited an area where illegal mining of talc is taking place.
They said they use this material for tiles and all. They are making money, but as government we are getting nothing of it. So if there's revenue to be made here, it should be made legal. So these activities, DAO, should be stopped with immediate effect. This revenue they are getting here should be revenue to our government. can help a lot of other people that are in need.
Kafue District Administrative Officer Manasseh Kalume says the talc is illegally mined from this area and it is used in making floor towels and soap.
Miners, illegal miners, they come in the night to mine here, which is a danger to the society and also the school. Because if you go at the school itself, you find some cracks there, which is a danger to everyone, even the students there, they'll be affected. So the current measure that we are asking for is to bring the security personnel here who will be here 24/7.
The illegal miners are said to be carrying out their illegal activities at night.
What we are saying is, the same people who were working here, from explanation, those who have an idea what this thing is, they are the people that come and who are coming to do illegal mining. Because if you can see there's an activity going on.
Illegal mining here has affected not only the environment, but structures around this area. Jonathan reporting for ZANIS News in Kafue, Lusaka Province.
And also in the news, Zambia is scheduled to host the 22nd Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA Heads of State and Government Summit in June this year. Government is optimistic that the country is poised to enhance its economic position and trade relations through the hosting of the summit, which was last held in Lusaka in 1997. Michelle Olubinda has the details.
The history of Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, began in December 1994 when it was formed to replace the former Preferential Trade Area, PTA, which had existed from the early days of 1981. COMESA was established as an organization of sovereign states which had agreed to cooperate in developing their natural and human resources for the good of all their people. COMESA has become the largest economic bloc in Africa, spearheading economic development and investment for 21 out of 54 African countries. Zambia joined the regional economic bloc in 1994 and ever since has been an active member and is part of the various decisions that have been approved aimed at enhancing economic growth and trade integration. On June 8th, Zambia will host the 22nd Heads of State and Government Summit, the second to be hosted after the one which was held in Lusaka in 1997.
COMESA provides the response to the challenges and opportunities that the globalization of the world economy offers. That is why our gathering here is so important. It is not only for us to exchange ideas, experiences, and advancing strategies on development, but a practical way for the survival of our countries, our region, and our continent, which have suffered marginalization in the last 500 years.
During this year's summit, Zambia is expected to take over the chairmanship of the regional bloc from the Republic of Egypt. And government is elated that the hosting of the summit will contribute positively to the country's economic growth and trade relations with other countries.
But after 30 years, almost 30 years, 26, 24 years, we are going to be chair of Common Market for East and Southern Africa. And when we begin to be chair, whenever COMESA meetings are held, they will be held in Zambia. Last year, we were meant to travel to Egypt because Egypt was chairing. But this year, our head of state will be chair, Zambia will be chair. So you'll see that all these countries will be coming to Zambia as opposed to us traveling. We did not manage ourselves so well in the past. So we never held any chairmanship of any international organization. But now the confidence that the world is bestowing in us is clear testament of what is going to happen. Should these meetings be held at ministerial level, I will be chairing. Business level. Should this meeting, foreign affairs meeting, the foreign affairs minister will chair.
We're very excited that having 21 heads of state in our country, in Lusaka, at any given time is something that would be able to now generate activity, economic activity in the country. We're talking about hotel accommodation, we're talking about transport, we're talking about restaurants, bars, all and sundry, you name it. That is something that we're looking at. Now this is not just a one-off. You will notice that in the last 3 months or so, Zambia has been a haven of activity.
It is hoped that the hosting of the summit will contribute to the country's enhanced regional integration and cooperation efforts. Michelo Lubinda for ZANIS in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, the African Union AU Commission, through its Information and Communication Directorate, is calling on the media to play a role in promoting and raising awareness on the values, vision, mission, and pan-African ideals of the Continental Organization as it celebrates 60 years since its establishment on 25th May 1963. Activities to mark the historical moment will be commemorated by the 55th member countries of the African Union within the African continent. Here are the details.
Created in 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the Organization of African Unity, OAU, now the African Union, AU, has always celebrated the Africa Day on the 25th of May in recognition of the vision and milestones achieved. As the Continental Organization will be celebrating 60 years since its establishment, the media has been called upon to raise awareness of the different success stories of the continent and also the activities of the AU. To this effect, this reporter looks back at the recent summit which took place in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia this year, where President Hakainde Hichilema was part of the heads of state and governments in attendance. Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, called on a united media for the continent to tell its own stories.
Please allow me to reiterate yet again the need to establish an African Union Continental Media House. Until Africa tells her own stories, her image will remain distorted. A distortion that affects not just how others view us, but also how we view ourselves.
A number of development efforts across the continent have been done in different social, economic, and political sectors, including education, health, women and youth empowerment, peace and security, fight against poverty, rural economy, and agriculture, among others. In the health sector, Zambia was awarded the 2022 Best Malaria Scorecard 2 accolade by the African Leaders Malaria Alliance, and President Hichilema received the accolade on behalf of the country.
I would like to thank the AUMA for the support they provide to our countries, not just Zambia, all our countries, and look forward to continued collaboration. And Zambia commits to sustain the use of the scorecard tools. And I wish to appeal to other countries to do likewise. Probably they're already doing it. But those that are not doing it, here's an appeal directly to you. Please take on board.
The slogan for the 60 years commemoration is Our Africa, Our Future. For ZANIS News, Mwangala Kapandula reporting in Lusaka.
And in the energy sector, the Parliamentary Committee on Government Assurances has held the Ministry of Energy on the progress made on the Chipenge-Mulinda electrification project in Chilubula area of Kasama district. Committee Chairperson Elliot Kamondo, who is also Mufumwe Member of Parliament, says the team is happy that significant progress has been made on the project, which is under the Rural Electrification Authority, REA. Here are the details from Northern Province.
The Rural Electrification Authority is mandated to provide electrification services to remote parts of the country. In Kasama district, the authority is implementing the Mulinda Chipenge project in Chilubula area. Director of Planning in the Ministry of Energy, Mwape Chipala, gives an insight into the project.
The team is currently evaluating. We tendered out and they're doing evaluations as we speak. It looks promising, obviously, that the evaluation process should come to an end of this month. And give and take the different processes or approvals that are required in government, we expect that we should be on site by August.
Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Government Assurances, Elliot Kamondo, who led his team to the tapping site, is happy with the progress made on the project.
Good news is that the people here should be should be actually excited that the procurement has started already, and from the other assurance, the mean assurance that we've been given, that come by August, the project is going to start. I think that is quite exciting.
Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpondo shared his thoughts.
Yeah. First I'll start with the Chilobula in Kasama. Once it is implemented, it is going to change the narratives of our people.
And Chilobula Parish Priest Father Fabian Pikiti is excited about the prospects of the project.
Our community needs power. You know, electricity is the only means of community empowerment. It has not only raised the people's standards of living, but at the same time, you know, it also boosts the business opportunities for our communities.
Tazanga Mumba for ZANIS in Kasama.
We continue with the news. Chieftainess member of the Tonga people in Jigankata district has appealed to government to complete the construction of the palace whose works have stalled for over 3 years now. The traditional leader has also called on government to consider working on the 33-kilometer Kasamu-Chikankata Mission Road, which is in a deplorable state. Chimunya Nalumpa has the rest of the details.
This is the Kasamu-Chikankata Mission Road. The deplorable state of this road has remained a source of concern for the people of Chikankata for so many years now. The road is almost impassable, especially during the rain season. Both the traditional leadership and the motorists want the road worked on.
Tromba humende uti itugwahilile umagana road na Jigankata. Nati vikitama kiolo palasha byoine itubikire utawatujwe gwenda gaboto.
The chiefdom humbly requests your office and that of the area member of parliament, who is already doing a lot in this respect, to appeal to the powers that be to consider reconstruction of the road under reference as a priority to this chiefdom.
Government is equally concerned with the state of this road, and plans to work on the road are underway.
Your government is fully alert and aware of the situation of the Chikankata Road. And I would like to assure you that as Minister for this province, the Road Development Agency, we're just waiting for the rainy season to be over. They will soon be able to begin to work on this road. It will not be put a tarmac in the immediate term, but it will be worked to be made motorable.
The road is not the only problem for the traditional leadership here. The incomplete chiefdom palace is also another thorn issue.
The previous government embarked on a program of constructing palaces in the chiefdoms in the country, and we are grateful that Mwenda chiefdom was among the first 3 to benefit from the program. However, we regret to say that the program or the project has taken too long, if not abandoned, to be completed and is now subject to vandalism.
The President directed not too long ago that all chiefdom palaces should be built and completed by December this year. So, I do hereby direct Chikankata Council to set aside funds to complete the chiefdom palace for Her Royal Highness Chieftainess Mwenda in this year's budget, in this year's CDF.
Nchumya Nalumpa, ZANIS, in Chikankata District, Southern Province.
On a sad note, Million Chamufutila, the 25-year-old youth of Chilanga District who drowned at Zamestone Pits in Namalombwe ward of Chilanga on Thursday last week, has been found and put to rest at Kamola Cemetery in Chilanga District. And Chilanga District Commissioner David Sheleni says Chilanga District Administration will engage other departments such as the Zambia Environmental Management Agency, ZEMA, Mines Safety Institution, among others, to check on the safety measures being implemented. Here are the details.
After an intensive search for the body of Million Chamfutila, over the weekend his remains have finally been found and put to rest at Komola Cemetery in Nyamba Ward of Chilanga District. The late Shamfutila, who worked for Zamastone Mine Company for 2 months only, drowned Thursday morning when he went to switch on a pump using a makeshift boat. Late Million's father, Mundia Shamfutila, has called on government to consider shutting down the mine before more lives are lost.
Bonse bazasiya kukufa zikuba apa bakonkana kufa binanga na first year munali mu April Pacific so uyu akola kufa pa 4 so abantu sibayikira nzero mwana sibayikira nzero tifuna tape goma apa itandizire tikuba bana bazasira andi.
Namalombwe Ward Chairperson has this advice for government.
It's very, very important for the government to take keen interest now. And we can also do this money. It's a matter of giving us proper loans. We can do this. We cannot wait for a foreigner to do this job. Give us the equipment, we can do it. The people are there who can do the job.
Chilanga District Commissioner says government will engage other departments to ensure safety at the company.
We'll bring the relevant authorities so that they can come and help us. I'm talking about institutions like ZEMA, institutions like the mine safety, the institutions like the council itself, ourselves, the labor. We shall all be there at the company to actually see what could have led to this very unfortunate incident.
And Chilanga Town Council Chairperson, Champion Tembo, thanked the community for expressing unity during the bereavement period.
A very strong community presence, beginning from where we had a problem, which is very good. I'm very happy about that. A problem like we have today, we must become a community. We must become a group of people that are beyond the divide of the church, that are beyond the divide of political parties. This is what I'm witnessing in Namalombwe today.
Mkwetoka Pekele, ZANIS, Namalombwe.
The people of Shangombo district are calling for appropriate interventions to cushion the rising hunger situation in the district due to climate change. Induna Namushi of Namono Ward says this year's farming season will be worse than the 2019 hunger situation, as all the fields have been destroyed due to the drought. More in this report by Kashweka Sakaimbo.
Mwekelela Namushi of Mawelea area in Shangombo district has a small rice field in Namono Ward. On a normal harvest, he says his football-sized field gives him about 15 by 50 kg bags of rice in a harvest. But this farming season, his rice field is all dry, as the water along the swamps has all dried up due to the drought being experienced in the area.
It is all dry. There is no water here. In this field, I usually harvest about 15 bags of rice. But this season has been hard due to drought in the community.
The traditional leadership calls for immediate intervention.
We haven't had rains in the district. There is nothing that people are eating here. We are highly pleading with government to intervene.
Authorities say they take this situation very seriously and are on the way to finding solutions.
It's really a disaster. People are in need of food. And as DMMU, obviously, together with our cooperating partners, we have to come in and try to support the families in whatever way that we can support them.
Then other farmers have also been affected by elephants, which passed through even eating the wheat which was about to harvested in their fields. So the current situation is a serious situation, and as the Minister of Agriculture, we intensify with vegetable production here, and also appeal to partners and also government to come on board and support our people to make their life more resilient to the issues of climate change.
With delayed intervention in the area, the drought poses a threat to food security in Shangomo District. Kasweka Sakambo reporting, Shangomo District.
Thank you, Kashweka, for that report. Now, in a related development, more than 3,000 people in Chipata District from vulnerable but viable households are benefiting from the Food Security Park program being implemented by the Ministry of Community Development and Social Welfare. District Acting Community Development Officer Beatrice Piri says the 3,627 beneficiaries are yielding positive results from the feast program under the adult literacy and savings components. Details in this report.
The Food Security Park program, initiated by government through the Ministry of Community Development, is playing an effective role in changing the lives of people in Chipata District. Programs such as adult literacy and saving are helping women in rural areas to learn how to read, calculate, and save the money that they earn from selling their produce. The beneficiaries are happy with the initiatives implemented through the Ministry of Community Development in Chipata District.
Komanso za ulimi zamene izi teziphunzira mabyalidwe mwa malimidwe kuchokera mmaphunziro ya literacy. Then apapa bali aliyense oziva kabyalidwe kafotokozedwe kambeu zonse zili pamene apa mwamene molimira oziva bwinobwino. Then ubwino wanabaona moya babantu kuti ni bantu omvesa pamankhani ya maphunziro chifukwa lomba bozichitira beka kumaminda kwawo nkhani ya zaulimi bochita masaving, then masaving yawo baluthandizike kunkhani ya kuphunzisa bana ku skulu.
Tanapezamo mu skulu lomba nuziba kuberenga tezo ziba lini kuberenga oloso Bible teti kuupasa muntu utuberenga ngo chiranga koma lomba nokondwela ndanuziba khani ya ulimi soti nokondwela ndaba mkhani amasamu yezotikangako koma lomba tuziba.
And Chipata District Community Development Officer Beatrice Piri outlines the significance of helping the people in the district under the two initiatives.
The Food Security Park program is a government social safety net program that is established under the National Social Protection Policy, which is under the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. As you are aware, when they receive these inputs that are for free, we also impart them with skills on business skills, life skills, and also to participate in group activities on savings. And also we find that sometimes we enroll beneficiaries that are not able to utilize the inputs well due to issues of maybe illiteracy.
Mrs. Piri says the improvement of nutrition at household level is also important.
This is a program whose overall objective is to empower vulnerable but viable farmers with agriculture inputs and livelihood skills for the purpose of improving productivity, nutrition, food security, and consequently have people that are self-reliant and able to sustain their livelihoods throughout the year without having any gaps in meeting the basic needs.
Sylvester Shimba for ZANIS in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
And now, Muchinga Province Minister Henry Sikazwe says water bodies in the area are a vital resource that can significantly change the economic fortunes of the province once well harnessed. The minister says tourism has the potential to boost the economy and contribute to the development of the province and that of the country. Details by Pamela Inambao.
It is one of the identified potential investment in the tourism sector located 40 kilometers south of Chinsali. And following the hosting of the Muchinga Investment Forum and Expo slated for October this year, Muchinga Province Minister Henry Sikazwe took time to check on the access road to this historical site, as the area is one of those that will be frequently visited by tourists during the Expo.
But we don't have much time. We are remaining with 4 months. Only 4 months in between. So if maybe we can engage our colleagues, the owner of the petrol station.
Meanwhile, the Road Development Agents tasked to work on the access roads to identify potential sites says assessments was done at 3 sites within Chinsali, adding that works have since commenced.
We have reached Poma Falls, we have the Shambarakale house, then also the site for the Nshida.
Yes.
So that one is 7 kilometers, the other one is about 8 to 9 kilometers, and this one is 7 kilometers in Chinsali. So out of the 6.5, we have received 1 million, which we have commenced the works.
Chipoma Falls hosts between 70 to 100 tourists per month, hence the need to market it. Pamela Inamba reporting for ZANIS in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
We move back to Eastern Province. Eastern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Piri says the provincial administration will do everything possible to improve the first lift of the Zambian News and Information Services, ZANIS, in Chipata. Ms. Piri has noted that the current work environment at the ZANIS provincial office is demotivating as staff are still using old furniture and equipment. She was speaking when she visited ZANIS provincial offices in Chipata on a fact-finding mission of operational challenges facing the department. Ms. Piri says ZANIS is an important public relations wing of the government that should mirror the image of it. Government has in the recent past procured equipment for ZANIS, and the exercise is work in progress.
It's so disappointing. Really, for me, this is the face of government, the PR system of government. We need to ensure that we change the face of this institution, starting from where you sit to the curtains. I'm seeing something that is colonial in nature. And in this age and era in 2023, I'm asking myself, what are we doing? It also falls back on us, the people that are supposed to be helping you, the people that you're reporting to, that we need to put an extra effort to see that these things are moving. And I think for me, it's not a habitable place that we can put our workers to work into, not an environment where somebody can be motivated to come and work every single day. It's not an environment that one can sit in, not at all. For now, I think, like I said, let's finish up with the painting and everything, everybody goes home until when we make this place habitable.
We've come to the end of the news, but before we go, let's recap on the headlines. Zambia, Scotland strengthen bilateral ties. Government confident of trade boost as Zambia hosts COMESA summit. South Chiefs call for completion of stored palaces. Plus, over 3,000 vulnerable households benefit from the Food Security Pack program in Eastern Province. Thank you so much for your time on behalf of the entire ZANIS production team. My name is Juliet Mutela Singh. Bye-bye.